The Chicago Bears have removed Roquan Smith from the PUP list. Does that mean that a deal is imminent, or does that mean that Roquan Smith will be traded? Let's talk about it starting now. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago Bears daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago Bears, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. So, per Ian Rappaport, the Chicago Bears have removed linebacker Roquan Smith, who is holding in and not practicing because of contractual issues, from the PUP list. Remember, this was a move that the Bears did to try and show a little bit of good faith to Roquan, that they didn't want to fine him, that they didn't want to penalize him, that they didn't want to put him behind the 8-ball and wanted him to be with the team while they were working through his contract issues. So he has been removed from that PUP list, which essentially would mean that they don't care anymore. And Smith has requested a trade and is not expected to begin practicing regardless. So now it seems that that good faith has been removed away. Again, we still do not know the contents of the deal. We still do not know the contents or the number that the deal is placed. We know that Roquan Smith viewed the deal as disrespectful, and we know that we heard yesterday from Ryan Poles that it was at a minimum a record-setting deal that makes you at least think that it's a record-setting deal in the right direction for linebacker. Somebody said a record-setting deal for an all-time low, but a record-setting deal for linebackers. Now, does that mean that it would have been a record-setting deal salary-wise, like total salary? Per Ian Rappaport yesterday, that is where probably the issue came in. I believe it would have made him the highest paid linebacker, but it could have been the terms of the deal years wise. And we know the one thing that I will say was disrespectful was the de-escalators that were put into that contract. I think that's a disrespectful by Ryan Poles, but that's a conversation for another day. But the fact that they've removed Roquan from this list right now after everything yesterday, the question on the table is this relationship done? Are the Chicago Bears moving on from Roquan Smith? And you know, I think that yesterday was a tactic that was planned out to try and get the Bears to move off of how they were going about the deal, move off of how they were trying to offer the deal to Roquan and structure the deal for Roquan. And again, Roquan is negotiating this deal for himself, so you have to move much more carefully with Roquan Smith because of things like this, right? You put those things in the contract and the player feels offended. But here's the thing that I'm looking at in this entire situation as of today. The fact that they've removed him from the PUP list seems like the idea that, okay, we offered you this goodwill, we were trying to negotiate with you, which Roquan says that they weren't. Again, we're in the middle of this. We don't know one way, either way, who's telling the truth at this point. But that they were trying to put this good faith out there, trying to negotiate with you. And now, essentially, they feel offended by you going out and putting out the social media tweet, putting out the post, requesting the trade, that they've snatched away that goodwill. And now you have to think, right, Roquan is still under contract with the Chicago Bears. Is this the point where the fines start to come in? Is this the point? Because now he's missing practice. Now he's missing days. Now he's legitimately holding out. This is not him on the PUP list dealing with injury anymore, right? So this is something that I look at that it could be the end of the relationship. I thought Ryan Poles might, at a minimum, right, be able to get a deal done. Maybe the McCaskies come in and try and smooth it out. I did not want the McCaskies to come in and say, Ryan signed this guy. I did not want to see that, because I want them to stay out of the football stuff. You guys sit up there, you make your billions, and you enjoy the football game. Don't come in on the football stuff. So listen, Ryan Poles seems like he's made his decision. Again, we don't know what the decision is. This could be leading to a contract, which, I mean, I would hope that's the outcome of this. You're not a better team without Roquan Smith on your team. So I would hope that that's the outcome of this. But it's starting to feel a little bit, right? The removal from the PUP list to me feels like, oh, you slapped us in the face? Okay, we'll show you how we really do business around here. And it seems like it's Ryan Poles putting his foot down. Now, question on the table for you guys, right? Let me know in the comments below. Do you feel like a deal gets done for Roquan Smith, or is this the end? If you feel like a deal gets done, drop a Y for yes. If you don't, drop an N for no. I'll be down in the comments talking with you as well. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know how you guys feel, man. Do you think Ryan Poles and Roquan Smith can get a deal done to keep their linebacker on the Chicago Bears? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down to talk with you as well. If you feel like he gets a deal done, drop a Y for yes. If you don't, drop an N for no. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. Here's the bottom line with it, right? You're not a better football team without Roquan Smith on this team. Do I think it's something that eventually you can overcome? Yeah, I mean, there's linebackers out there that you definitely can go get. The Bears will have a ton of money next year, even though that linebacker market's pretty slim. But the Bears will also have a ton of draft picks next year. And as much as you hate to say it, right, like Georgia's printing linebackers like they're greenbacks. Yeah, I mean, they're printing linebackers like money out here. So I can't say that you'll never find another player like Roquan Smith. But the thing is, this guy's already developed. This guy's already in your system. This guy's already has played in a 4-3 before in college, hadn't done it at the NFL level, but already is one of the best players on the team. And it definitely hurts you if he's not out there for your defense. It definitely changes your season if he's not out there for your defense. So I think that this is one where, right, like it depends on what number Roquan is offended by, right? Like some people really are looking at this and saying, he probably went in there asking for 25 million. I don't know if I believe that, but maybe, right, the Bears did offer him something where he was making 22 million a year and the years were shorter, and Roquan viewed that as disrespectful. Listen, if you did something like that, I don't view that as disrespectful. Sure, he didn't get a 5-year deal. Okay. Did you make him the highest paid linebacker in the NFL? Like, I get it, right? Like, unless it's a 1-and-1, then it's a different story. But the thing is, if you play well, now we're back at the table in 3 years and you can make more money with the new market in there. So I don't know who's right. We don't know the numbers on the deal. We don't know what Roquan was offered. We don't know if Roquan was lowballed. We don't know if the Bears paid more or were willing to pay more, but just less years. I think the thing that it comes down to, right, is that at the end of the day, Ryan Poles now has a serious case on his hands of how do you fix losing an all-pro linebacker quickly? Because if you feel like you've got the right combination of offensive linemen, or at least a starting right combination of offensive linemen in the lineup, you have to start looking at the clock is ticking, because that means that your quarterback may be able to take a step. That means that this offense may be able to take a step, and then you'll have to get the defense back up to speed. Now, again, with Flus in there, with Alan Williams in there, with Ryan Poles in there, I don't think that it'll take us long to get the Chicago Bears defense back up to speed. There's 36 inches of bear head over here that tells me the Chicago Bears can build a defense. I'm not worried about that part, and I think that may be something that Ryan Pace takes into account there. But I'll say this one way or the other: you have to get the story out there on what this is. You have to get the story out there on what Roquan was offered, because this is going to be looked at as, oh, the Bears are too cheap to pay players, and that could hurt you in the long run getting free agents in here. You can have all the money in the world on this team, and it won't matter if the players coming in here next year for meetings say no. So at a minimum, right, you hope that it's not a organizational thing where they're looking at Roquan and they just don't value him. I don't know if that's the case. Like, to me, I don't know if that's the case, because why would you put him on the PUP if you don't value him? But I guess we'll end up seeing kind of how this thing works out. It seems like it's going to get messy. I felt like they might be able to get something done, but the removal from the PUP list might be the sign that we're heading towards a bad road with the Chicago Bears. So we could see a Roquan Smith trade being imminent before the season starts. But hey, I want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Do you feel like Roquan and the Bears get a deal done? I'll be down there talking with you guys. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bears content. Click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.